Okay. Here's a video you should watch. Let's start out by saying I've said for countless years now, I could always tell what somebody knows by the books they recommend you read, especially when it comes to really, really hardcore, intelligent books. Made many book recommendations somewhat recently, and everybody's gotten back to like, oh my god, this stuff is amazing. It's really easy to tell what somebody knows by the things that they say, and also the stuff that they don't say. This is really important when it comes to photography. Now, really, really important. Very simple analogy, like the book analogy, is that if you look at the people that like take so-and-so's workshop, you take a look at these people, it's like, who are these people? There's a couple YouTube photography channels that are doing workshops, and if you actually look at the people around this person, but before we get to that, let's talk about people that have real people taking someone's workshop. Like if you have a certain subset of people taking a person's workshop that are really skilled, it's like, wow, this person, must really know something. Like, for example, Jerry Gionis and Cliff Mountner. If you see the people that are taking their workshop, okay, listen closely. These are people that are working professional photographers that have a business. It's like, who's taking Cliff Mountner's and Jerry Gionis and Joe McNally's workshops? People that are already mostly, there can be some noobs in there, but they're people that already have extensive skills with like lighting ratios, and they have their own photography business. It's like, wow, so these people are already well-paid working professional photographers, and they're taking their workshops. Now let's contrast that with the people that are taking the workshops of some people on YouTube. Nobody in particular. Okay. You ever remember the movie Animal House? It's like all the rejects that couldn't get into a regular sorority or whatnot would they'd be like the losers and the nincompoops and the ne'er-do-wells. Let's say like these people are looking at their cameras like they just bought it and they don't even know what like aperture priority is. Like, yeah, I've seen those people. It's like when they pan out and you see the people that are taking that person's workshop, and they look like people that are just learning like what the hell is shutter priority, which is okay, everybody has to be at some level. You see, no one's ever talked about this before. That tells you what type of photographer that person is. Like, well, my workshops are, not meaning me, they say, my workshops are booked, or I've got a lot of people. It's like, yeah, but look at the people that are taking your workshop. They're noobs. Noobs. Now, the people contrasted that are taking, like, Jerry Gionis and Cliff Mountner's workshops, these are people that are already people that know what a lighting ratio is. They shoot manual, they got a light meter hanging around there. The people that are, they got a studio strobe and portable backgrounds in their car, and they are doing the do. These are people that are already making the money. They're already making money in photography. Those are the people that are taking the workshops in general from Cliff Mountner and Jerry Gionis and Joe McNally and a few others. A few others that are now dead, but, when they were doing workshops, the people that were taking their workshops, they were already hardcore established working photographers. You see, this is what we call, that should tell you something. If most of the people taking your workshop are a bunch of, YouTube noobs, or people that are just like learning out how their camera works, that tells you that, yeah, that tells you something really, really important. You see, no professionals are taking your workshop, and the reason is self-evident to those of us who have a brain. Now, what I stated in this video is irrefutable and it's undeniable. It is. You go to like Jerry Gionis or Cliff Montner. I actually had a buddy who lives up in Boston. We were talking about this earlier today, and I was like, "You're so right. I should have made a video on this topic already." And we were laughing our butts off. He's like, you see the people taking these guys' workshops. They're established pros, versus the people that are taking the workshops of this person who will, or persons who will remain unnamed. Those are a bunch of just camera noobs. It's like, yeah, you got people taking your workshop, but they're people that don't know, a pop-up flash from a studio strobe, And that, boys and girls, is what we call a sign, an indicator, a landmark. Yeah. That's called telling you something. It's kind of like if you only run into somebody at like the adult bookstore, but never at church. It's like I always run into Bob at the adult bookstore. I always see him like walking into the adult bookstore, but I never see him in church or something. And it's like that's what we call that tells you something.